Residents of Diepkloof Hostel in Soweto say they are not happy that MEC Lebogang Maile did not address them as the community of the hostel. He did a walkabout of the hostel and only fielded questions from journalists. They say they were expecting the Gauteng Human Settlements and Infrastructure Development MEC to call them to a hall and respond to questions from the residents of the hostel. Meanwhile, residents have also refuted claims that the hostel residents chased Maile away. Yesterday, Diepkloof Hostel residents went on a rampage barricading roads with burning tyres and rocks in protest over the dilapidated state of the hostel and other service delivery challenges. For more on the story, let's bring in SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa.
The situation remains calm at Diepkloof Hostel in Soweto after residents barricaded the roads protesting over dire living conditions here at the Diepkloof Hostel, calling on the local government as well as the provincial government to intervene in their living conditions and refurbish the hostel, which they say is a disaster waiting to happen. But earlier this morning we saw the MEC for Human Settlements visiting the area, seeing some of the worst affected areas where the walls are falling apart, and was quickly whisked away by his security personnel due to alleged security threats. We're joined by someone from the IFP who also came to speak to the residents here to try and restore calm. But before we do that, we're going to speak to one of the residents who's going to clarify whether or not it is true that the MEC was chased away. We understand that the MEC was here and that there were security threats, and there are also some misconceptions that the MEC was thrown out or chased away from this community.
Angibingelele msakazi wami, cha kuyiliphutha eliphindwe kaningi nje lelo. Akekho umuntu oxosha uMEC umayela ufikile la ehostela senza irockaway around nayo walk around. Uma eqeda lapho sisengakabuyi ehholweni lomphakathi kube sekusondela izimonto zakhe zabona ama security guard akhe emthatha emfaka imontweni wahamba kanjalo akazange address ngisho umphakathi lo ebekade sicabanga ukuthi uze kuwo ngoba bugcwele ihholo umele yena.
Thank you so much. And what he's essentially saying is that the MEC left before addressing the community members which had gathered at the community hall here at Diepkloof Hostel due to security threats. He was taken away by his security personnel and was not chased away by community members. We're also joined by the IFP provincial chairperson, Bonkosi Dlamini. Thank you so much for speaking to us. What do you make of the situation here and the constant protest action that keeps recurring and just recurring in this community?
I mean, this is not new. In this hostel, every MEC that you know of in Gauteng as from 1994, every minister has been here. The latest was Minister Kubai, and today it was Minister MEC Maile. And I'm happy that the presidents have corrected the lies that the MEC was chased away. The MEC was never chased away. He walked around with the residents here, showing him the dire conditions that they are living in. And for some reason, some security alarm was raised and then he was whisked away. Therefore, it's a lie that he was chased away. But the fact of the matter is that in the elevated priorities of the Premier, which is teach, they also include hostels and townships. Hostels are part of the townships. Then the government has just chosen to deal only with the 6 hostels, not with the entire hostels. The mayor was here and he promised the residents that he only gives basic services like water, electricity and refuse removal. The top structure and the buildings is the province. Today the MEC said the opposite, to say he will bring the mayor because these hostels are owned by the mayor. I mean, this game must come to a stop. There are more than 56 hostels in Gauteng that the government must look after, and there must be no blame shifting here. And you know that you have seen for yourself the conditions here. The houses are falling apart, and people have been patient. And that is why we have come to address them, to say, as much as they've got a right to protest, but it must not turn into violence. It has never turned into violence. Even the police have attested to that. Therefore, all we are saying is that government must take our hostel people seriously and make sure that they really deliver services. All residents are asking for is that demolish these old dormitory type hostels and build as your RDP walk-ups like everybody, like you do for everyone.
Okay. And now, with regards to the IFP, you are an IFP representative, and some might accuse you of using this unfortunate situation, as an electioneering opportunity. What would be your response to those who share that view?
My response to that is that I am known, and that I always speak for. The IFP is not afraid and ashamed to talk for those who are forgotten and downtrodden, the ones that are in the informal settlements, in the hostels. We will not shy away from doing that. For us, it's not a new thing. I came here because I saw on TV wrong reporting that the MEC has been chased away. That's why I came here to find out what is happening, because people have a right to protest, and when the MEC has responded, why chase him away? Only to find that it was on his own volition that he ran away. And we are not electioning at all. We are doing what we have been doing since 1994, to not to be afraid to speak on behalf of the hostel. That is why we're even saying now, it is that the government said in its elevated priorities, it involves townships and hostels. Therefore, these hostels form part of that township. The intervention must not choose only 6 hostels in the province. They must deal with every piece that needs development in our township. So Diepkloof Hostel is part of Diepkloof Township.
Now, it seems as though there's some skepticism from community members about that meeting taking place on Thursday. We know that the MEC has made that promise and a commitment to come back with the city and other stakeholders to address community members. But it seems as though there's been a concern from residents, given that Thursday is Human Rights Day, and there's a concern that the actual meeting might not even take place.
One is very proud of the hostel residents because they can see what is happening here, and I'm happy with the maturity of them to say we don't see Thursday happening, Chair. Maybe talk to them, maybe let's look at Friday. I will be talking to the Premier this afternoon and make sure we give people the right to the correct date, so that we don't just make promises that we can't keep.
Thank you so much. There you have it. That is IFP provincial chairperson just speaking to us on the way forward, saying that they will try to engage with the office of the Premier to determine whether or not it is possible for that meeting to go ahead on Thursday. If not Thursday, then Friday. It is back to you in studio.